Hey everybody, in today's video I want to talk to you about who's more suitable to manage your developers. Someone that has a technical background like a senior software developer, someone that has done development in the past, or someone that doesn't have any development expertise maybe not even technical expertise. I'm Aristotel Dascal and I'm the founder of GoStartup.io, and I help business owners build profitable software without overspending on development. Early in my career, I remember that I wanted to make more money. I knew that developers are paid way better than anybody else, support or whatever. But I really didn't enjoy doing so much development. I think that I just didn't get it. Maybe it was I was just looking at the big picture. Nonetheless, what's the next best thing? So I said to myself, well, kind of the same salary or maybe even higher, there's a project manager. So that's why I actually started considering becoming a project manager. In that context, project manager meant that you're managing a development team, managing the day-to-day activities to make sure that they're getting a project done. So basically, managing developers. But everybody told me you cannot do that. I mean, you got to have about 6 years, between 4 and 6 years of development experience for you to actually become a project manager. That was like how you become a project manager. You do development for a few years and then you become project manager. Instead of about 6 months, I was managing software developers. Already got my PMP certification, and there you go. With absolutely no development experience, I was managing developers. I've managed projects where before me, the project manager on that particular project was someone that had a development background. They used to be a senior developer. I believe that if the project manager comes from a development background, it's way easier for them to interfere with the activities of the development, in that they can look at the issues themselves and they can try to solve them. They can try to actually work on those tasks and even pick onto what the developers are actually working on and maybe even micromanage them. So that's the drawback of having a developer or someone with a development background managing your developers. One, they may not focus on the right things, which are about the big picture of the project, maintaining the constraint, the budget, the resources, and everything. Two, they get into the nitty-gritty and they work on what they're not supposed to work on. Three, they start to micromanage developers. Now, some developers become project managers because they may think that that's an authority figure, that that's a title that gives them, the opportunity to everybody else to listen to them. Well, in a way, lead developers do that, but project managers have a completely different responsibility. When you're a project manager, you're no longer a developer. You're focused on different things. Now, if that's hard for a developer that transition into project management role, it's better not to assign a developer to be a project manager for your team. In a way, that's a good news. Why? Because you can take a junior to do project management and you just give them the blueprint, like this is how you do it. We apply Agile. This is what you need to make sure that everything happens in order. And it's going to be way easier for them in a way because they're not going to worry about all these little things that the developers do. They're going to make sure that the developers have everything that they need, and then they get from the developers everything that they need in terms of reports and, tracking certain things and whatnot. Now, if your team is very small, if you're a founder of a tech startup yourself, and if you're a developer, amazing. That really makes things cheaper for you because you can develop the product that you want to have. What's very important, though, is to make sure that you take the hat off, the developer hat off, and you put the project manager or product manager hat on, and you're making sure that you're focused on what that role particularly is supposed to do. As a project manager, you need to make sure that everything is done within the timely manner, and then the productivity of the team is going in a steady pace and actually improving it. As a product manager, you need to make sure that you're building the right features. Now, if you're a developer, you're very excited to build stuff. It's very easy for you to start building things that you should not be building. Make sure, again, that you know exactly what hat you have on at a point. If you're thinking about stepping up and you want to hire a manager, make sure that you know exactly what role are you hiring for. Maybe you have money for just one and you say, I just need a manager and I need them to do this and this and that. Make sure you really know what a project manager is supposed to do, what a product manager, what a support manager is supposed to do, and make it very clear for that person which hats they're supposed to be wearing and when. Yes, you can have a single manager that can do all of these, but they need to know what that particular job entitles, what are the responsibilities. Make sure that they do not jump from one to another one, because clarity is everything. You have to focus on the right thing for the right job. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions or if you need any help with understanding the composition of how your team should be, feel free to book a call. You're going to see a link below. We're going to jump on a call. We're going to look at your business. If there's anything that we can help you with, we're going to tell you exactly how that looks like. Have an amazing day.